the CO2 emissions linked to digital marketing are huge.
Okay.
It's today the same level as the car traffic. Okay. Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
I'm learning something. I see.
Better a good AI than a bad boss, right? Of course, with La French Tech, for me, we are a great match. AI is indeed invading everything we do. It's changing the way we work. But the human qualities will become even more important. We believe nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
And actually, we want to foster more dialogue and more dialogue, intergenerational as well. We need to listen more to the youth. For a leader, what matters is how you surround yourself.
So, welcome everyone. Welcome to our dear guest today. So today we have two special guests, Valéry Gaucherand, who is the president of L'Oréal Baltics and Poland, travel across multiple countries, work in multiple countries. I would just read a few of them because there were so many, like Vietnam, Turkey, Mexico, Chile, UK, Ireland, and now Poland.
We are traveling already.
And on top of that, you have been recently appointed a president of the Polish-French Chamber of Commerce. So we'll talk both about tech, about your career at L'Oréal, and about your vision for the chamber.
Very good.
Yeah. And so on top of that, basically we have Joanna Jaroch-Pszeniczna. I have worked on this one so many times. For the couple of years we know each other. Mistake after mistake, but we get it here. So basically, for your mission as a president, you have the fantastic general manager, Joanna, that is basically leading the way on the operational aspect. So we are very happy to have you with us. And full disclosure, Joanna and French Tech, have been collaborating together for a while and trying to push that collaboration even further. Part of the Team France. So we are very, very happy to have you both here today. And yeah, let's get into it and get to know you a little bit better.
Let's jump to the question, Valéry. We'll start with you and with your career and everything that brought you to Poland here today. So what's so special about L'Oréal that kept you for 25 years?
26, actually.
26, wow. Time is flying by quickly. And how do you find Poland? How do you like it here? How Poland compared to other countries you have lived here? Lived and work and, the culture, the business environment.
So, L'Oréal, 26 years, everybody is asking me the question. So, I must say that I'm used to this question.
Okay.
So, indeed, I was not really predestined for cosmetics, for beauty products. And I joined L'Oréal because as a French person, it's a very well-respected company when you are a young graduate. France in particular, and I wanted to travel.
Okay.
Actually, back then I had heard that indeed L'Oréal was offering international careers. That if you were ready to be exposed to very different cultures and countries, it was possible actually. That's how I end up joining L'Oréal. And I'm still there 26 years after because of, and I always share this with the young employees, the new recruits or the students when I do my duty over the campus activities. I'm still there because it's a very big company that to some extent still behaves as a smaller company. So in this matter,
it's hard to believe.
There is a lot of freedom, and me, I consider I have much more freedom than many people I know who are doing the same job as me in similar size companies. Mm-hmm. So there is a sense of entrepreneurship, of agility, of room for people to actually exert their job. And the second thing is that it's a very people-driven company. So it's clearly people over processes.
Okay.
And therefore, both dimensions are linked, right? this freedom, this entrepreneurship, and the people, because indeed L'Oréal in its DNA leaves room for people to make impact and to exert their job in a different way. So I'm still there because of that, because of this spirit. It's also a company that is about being poet and peasant. The founder said that, and it's very true. So we want people to be both creative, strategic, visionary, but at the same time down to earth, pragmatic, plan, know their business in detail, competition, field, etc.
Business results.
And doing this movement up and down, poet and peasant is something that is very appealing to me. That is very demanding for people because it's an intense company. But this is also one thing I really appreciate in L'Oréal.
Great. And how about Poland?
So
How
Poland.
about L'Oréal in Poland?
So Poland is for me is a very interesting country because it's one leg in Europe and one leg still emerging somehow. Yeah. So me, as you named a few exotic countries in this list, I have had a more emerging market, I would say, experience. So for me, landing back in Europe after so many years away and landing in Poland is actually great because I believe Poland still has many opportunities to do, right? So it's more in the mindset how to go beyond maybe sometimes the half-empty glass of Polish culture in this region. But for me, the most interesting of Poland is that we hear a lot about of course, the economic development of Poland, the socio-economic development. But is it catch up or is it leapfrog? Me, I find very interesting that in some aspects Poland is catching up versus the West, but in some other aspects Poland is actually leapfrogging to a more advanced level than Western Europe, for example. So I find this place very interesting for that because when you discuss with Poles. You feel sometimes the benchmark is Western Europe, Germany, also, because there is sometimes not so much inspiration to get from there. Yeah. But when you dig in, you see that really there are many things that Poland is actually doing an excellent job. And there is more. The Western Europe is not the alpha and omega, right? Yeah. And I think Poland is inventing its own way of inspirations, but it's really how Poland can go further with this ambitious mindset. And so that's what I'm discovering. That's what I have discovered here for the past 3 years, and that keeps me actually enjoying very much the opportunities here in Poland.
Cool. And if I may bounce on what you say, basically L'Oréal trying to have a culture of entrepreneurship within its structure, right? And knowing how entrepreneurial the Poles are in general. Do you see that basically reflects on the way that your teams are evolving, and they are operating in terms of being entrepreneurs by culture compared to the previous countries where you were, maybe that don't have such entrepreneurial mindsets?
Indeed, Walid, I think Poland is a very dynamic ecosystem. So when we took, for example, when we look at digital, but it's a very dynamic ecosystem. Structuring year after year. It's still a younger population than Europe on average. Okay, not for so long still, but still younger. It's the second open data inventory country after Singapore worldwide. There are 16 million users of the Polish government app active, which is not small. Bleak is channeling 10% of the Polish GDP almost, with more than 2 billion transactions per year. We are number 2 in Europe for contactless payments, and we have one of the biggest marketplace worldwide with Allegro in the top 10 of the marketplaces worldwide. So that's an example. There is an already good ecosystem.
Yeah.
And indeed, I was struck arriving in Poland how indeed some Polish companies, startup, are doing a fantastic job in this country, right? So then, for me, for L'Oréal, it was more, are we doing this?
Okay.
You know, are we taking
Capitalizing
advantage
on that,
of this ecosystem, etc.? So on some things I found yes, on some other things I found no.
Okay.
And I decided to check a bit the thing so that we can actually be an advanced and a great player in a market that is very promising, right? So, voilà. Then entrepreneurship, I've been badly educated because in the countries that I have been, they were also very, very entrepreneurial. You know, talk Vietnam, Latin America, Turkey, etc. So I'm not particularly surprised by this.
Okay.
It's still a very important component of the ecosystem I have found, but I was kind of used to this, unfortunately. Voilà. So, but still, for me, Poland is an excellent surprise, you know. And I really discovered that coming from Asia, where I was coming before, is somewhere halfway in the middle between the West and Asia in terms of digital ecosystem, digitalization of the life, etc. So super interesting.
Okay.
You shared so many things about Poland that are great, and we know that e-commerce especially is booming.
Mm-hmm. So what is bad?
This we know, but the question is, how did you set up your priorities when you came here? As a leader of such a big organization with the brand that is already somehow established on the market, because one of your role is to leading the digital transformation within L'Oréal. So what was the number one, number two, number three? How did you put it in motion when you came here?
Okay. So first, indeed, I always look at e-commerce very closely because e-commerce is a very important channel for L'Oréal worldwide. It's close to 30% of the sales you can find in the annual report. But most importantly for me, e-commerce is not just a sales channel, it's really a marketing channel and a consumer engagement channel. That's the way I look at it always. So here in Poland, we have a very sizable already dynamic and highly penetrated, by the way, e-com market, because more or less everywhere, everybody having a smartphone does e-commerce, right? So penetration is kind of done. In terms of beauty e-commerce market, here is the fourth biggest beauty e-com market in Europe. So after UK, Germany, and France. It's 22-23% of the total beauty sales. So it's significant already. It's growing at close to 20% per year. So it's still a bit of a functional Western type of shopping, right? So not yet so much into exploration and entertaining like we can find in more Asian markets or even Turkey or Latin America. But getting closer to more interesting experience, more personalization, more virtual try-on solutions, some assisted diagnosis, these kind of things are starting to be embedded in the Polish e-commerce. So knowing that for L'Oréal, the topic is moving from beauty for all to beauty for each. E-commerce is a very important channel also for us to ensure a more personalized consumer engagement and shopping experience. So I always look at e-commerce first because it's a no-brainer, and here there is Allegro also. Allegro, which is quite unique within Europe, because in Europe there are not so many marketplaces. There is one big one starting with an A, coming from.
We don't say. We don't talk about it.
But it's very rare to have a big marketplace, local marketplace in a country like ours. So for me, it was also a very interesting challenge to see how to also for a group like L'Oréal with 36 international brands. How can we also deal with the marketplace and try to crack such an opportunity when we have 500 million people on Allegro every month with 15 million unique users or something like that, right? It's a monster, right?
Yeah.
So so I always look at this, and then to really engineer maybe more transformation in terms of digital. Honestly, the first thing is the mindset, right?
Okay.
And this you can have it everywhere in Poland, in Baltics, in any country. And the mindset for me is really the growth mindset, the ability, the willingness to learn. There is so much you can know as a leader. You don't know what you don't know. But the topic is to try to know as much as you can yourself, with your teams, with your partners, small and big tech, whomever. And it's a game of speed. So I tend to have the FOMO behavior, in terms of curiosity, and try to foster this also within the teams of L'Oréal.
So you must be served with AI lately in terms of FOMO.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's our job, it's our duty. When we want to build a successful business long term, we need to be extremely curious. And And also, what I see is that the more the people see that the more they want to know as well, right?
Yeah.
And,
Right.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, the mindset is number one, and in the mindset, I also put the not too much self-complacency, because I think let's not believe we are so good, and let's really be open for even if you are a leader to act as a challenger, kind of. So healthy worry, la saine inquiétude, as we say in French. So this is for me the key. Then stick to the business priorities. So let's relook at what are your business priorities as a company, and then see, okay, how can tech help me achieve them faster or bigger?
But if I may, tech seems to be a little bit more than a help here. Like, I mean, because you're the big boss of L'Oréal in Poland and Baltics, but you have a boss, which is, everyone has a boss, right?
Yes.
So the big boss of L'Oréal, Nicolas Hieronymus, said that you are a beauty company, but you are actually a tech company. I would love to understand basically how you guys conceptualize that within a very old institution, right? L'Oréal is not, a young company, has been there forever, has basically driven the trend of beauty. And right now, you guys come out and say, we are a tech company, right? I would love to see, how this basically penetrates the different layers and how people identify to that, because it's not just about the CEO saying it. It's about people identifying that and carrying the message and pushing it through. So if you can walk us through that, would be great.
But, so indeed, interesting question, because L'Oréal is founded in 1909 by Eugène Schroeder, who was convinced that the company he was founding had to seize what is starting. So this spirit of innovation to, detect the trend before they exist and really jump on new innovation, etc., was at the heart of the founder's mindset, and it's a mindset we have in the culture of the company. Then our CEO Nicolas Hieronymus, indeed, he made the analogy a couple of years ago, I think, when he was meeting with a financial analyst, that L'Oréal is a Unicornus Rex. Okay, so it's a blend of the dinosaurs of 100 something years, right? With the speed and the innovative spirit of a unicorn, right?
Okay.
So, then we managed to get him over in Poland, which is also very important, because the fact that he came last year, that he wanted to come and that he came is very important, because it also puts the Poland on the map for a big beauty tech company like L'Oréal. And then, so to answer on the beauty tech. So yes, for sure. It's very surprising to people, when they hear that. But to be honest, L'Oréal is a company that has science at the heart, right? We spend more than 1 billion euro every year in R&I. Tech is everywhere. We use obviously like many companies, machine learning and artificial intelligence for many years in the research, in the labs, in the formulation, in the research and packaging. In beauty device that we provide to consumer to ensure more personalized experience, more high tech, etc. So it's absolutely everywhere in the company, And for me, it's no surprise that now, of course, L'Oréal is about beauty, but L'Oréal is about every year at CES in Las Vegas, reaping the fruits of all the innovations it presents to the community of tech, etc. So there is a reality there, is that to ensure state-of-the-art product experience, service experience, beauty experience of the consumers, you need to be very advanced and develop cutting-edge things for which obviously tech is very precious, right? So we don't oppose a beauty company and tech company. The challenge for us, if we want to keep our edge, keep offering the best to consumers. It's normal that tech is embedded in what we do every day, right?
And so your basically the employees carry that also in the way that they process, or they see the company on a day-to-day. Is that it's not just basically selling creams and things to be beautiful, but actually they understand that the development or the future of L'Oréal comes out of what you were saying at the very beginning, the personalization of the service, that people feel that they are that they have a product that is really fitting for them.
Yeah.
And is this due also to the high level of competition that is on the market? Because from what we know, entrepreneurship is the barrier to enter to the market is lower and lower and lower, right? And jewelry and beauty are one of the top, sectors in terms of margins, right? Yeah. So it attracts a lot of new players, right? That often are much more flexible, faster than you, have less cost because everything is online and so on. So is this what you guys are fighting?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes. So to answer your question, employees are very proud indeed to have also a company that is really trying to stay ahead of its game in the tech, in the digital, etc. So for sure. Second, it's a very big market. The beauty market is bigger than the mobile phone market, right? Yeah. It's a big market. Yeah. Then it has always been a very vibrant market, meaning a lot of new entrants. What is difficult is not to enter the market.
It's to stay.
Is to stay. Is to stay and to build big brands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why also for example, in the acquisition strategy of the group tends to, I would say, acquire small brands and make them big or huge.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So we are fine with this very competitive market, but indeed, to keep your edge, build bigger brands, you need to actually do a hell of a job also in terms of tech and and innovation.
And to put you on the spot quickly,
can I add something on beauty tech, because I'm quite passionate about the beauty tech. So for example, indeed we have a lot of devices that we can offer to consumers everywhere in the world and here in Poland as well. We can discuss a little bit about that. But for example, there is another area where I'm absolutely fascinated by how L'Oréal is progressing, is in the tech linked to sustainability. So there is an awful lot of tech going into all the sustainability programs of the group, so the formulation, the packaging.
Okay.
But then there is another one, okay? Because we talk digital and we talk sustainability. But for example, the digital emissions are huge. The CO2 emissions linked to digital marketing are huge.
Okay.
It's today the same level as the car traffic. Okay.
Okay.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
I'm learning something. I see.
So the digital marketing and media emissions is similar to worldwide car traffic.
Wow.
So and nobody talks about it. And so we want more green techs also from the big guys, etc. But what do we do, to manage our emission when we are a big company, the fourth biggest advertiser worldwide, which is the case of L'Oréal. Okay. Yeah. So, for example, Poland was the first country right after France to cooperate with a startup called Impact Plus to manage our digital media in a greener way. So I brought for you something actually because I really want to show you. So if I find it,
our most prepared guest ever.
I brought you two pictures of advertising for a foundation. One of them has 25,000 kbits and generates for 100,000 impressions 4.8 tons of CO2. Which is the equivalent of 13 return flights Warsaw, Roissy, Charles de Gaulle. Okay. 13. And the one, this one is 710 kbytes, which generate per 100,000 impressions 0.5 tons of CO2. It's a minus 90% emission. Okay. Not only doesn't impact the media performance, and on the contrary, because it's quicker to load, etc. So
it's just smaller
click-through
quality.
Rate is actually higher.
Okay. Yeah.
So there is absolutely no incompatibility between the definition, the weight, and the use that people make of it.
Yeah.
So, for example, we have collaborated with this startup to plan the integrality of our digital media in 2024, and we have reduced our digital emissions in L'Oréal Poland Baltics by 90%. Just by doing 90%. That, by optimizing the format.
Optimizing the format of the banner, because otherwise it's like the server that is like producing the emissions, like.
It's basically the data centers are fed
centers
by.
But it's because of what you put.
Because of the layers of the image.
So this for me. I'm very proud that, for example, L'Oréal starts working on this topic because indeed we never hear about it, and knowing the scale and the impact of the digital emissions, but it's a topic we need to tackle, right? So I'm looking actually for startups in this field also in Poland. To help us be greener with our tech, or to some tech that enables to be greener, right?
Okay.
Because this is not a Polish startup. It's
French
startup.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll pass a message.
I'm scouting. Yes, because
scouting.
Because it's
what are other type of innovations?
Yeah, tell us, because maybe we're gonna get some applications for you.
What is that?
I have interesting public, a lot of startups in our community.
We have a lot of tech coming also to the consumer in Poland. So I don't know if you saw, but the group presented the Beauty Genius.
Yes.
We have
right here. The question is, go for it. This is exactly, because we need to know where it is, because we saw it in Vivatech, right? Which was one of the...
So it has been launched in a few pilot countries.
Okay.
And it will come soon to Poland.
Okay.
Right.
So can we know soon, or we just...
We are talking months.
Okay. Months, okay.
We're not talking years, we are talking months.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's one.
Maybe we'll just explain to our community what it was, because I was able to test it at the stand at Vivatech. So it's like a tip giver application that gives you tips based on your skin and the problem that you describe in the form of chat. You can share pictures. You can really interact and receive like very precise recommendation, right?
Yes.
And you're going to launch this version in Poland soon. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So indeed, it's an AI beauty companion, quite holistic, which indeed gives, I think, a pretty interesting experience. No, you have tried it. So, but we have plenty of beauty tech also device coming. First, we have a set of of techs already available in Poland. So we have the Yves Saint Laurent Rouge sur mesure, which enables you to actually create your shades of lipstick. We have the Yves Saint Laurent scent station to help you select your fragrance based on neuroscience and your mood, etc. We have Armani Meta Profiler, which is a skincare high-tech device. We have, let me check my list, but we have a high-tech skin analyzer on most of our
quick question, because
brands.
all those gadgets, tools seem to be linked to a brand, specifically Armani and so on. So do you develop them with those brands, and basically L'Oréal is the main entity that does the R&D and then push it to the market? Exactly. So this is what makes you the tech company.
We
you
develop
the bone, exactly. And you put the name on it, and you
put it.
Okay, got you. Okay,
sure.
That makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
For example, the Beauty Genius starts with the brand L'Oréal Paris.
Okay, yeah.
But voilà.
Yeah.
Let's see going forward. We have the water saver with the Polish hair salon hairdressers. So it's not rocket science, but it's a device to plug on the sink of the hairdressers that saves up to 70% of water.
Okay.
Knowing that the hairdressers, more than half of their electricity bills is linked to the hot water that they use for their customers, right? So it's a good tech that enables sustainability also and the savings for hairdressers, for example. We have scanners for the scalp with Kerastase. And we have soon coming to Poland also Airlight Pro, which is a revolutionary new vertical of devices for hair drying, etc.
Sounds a lot like Dyson, no?
It's the idea. It's the idea.
I'm just teasing.
So plenty of tech coming
cool.
to Poland to also secure state-of-the-art beauty experience in our country, right?
Very cool.
Nice, interesting. So you gave us so many examples of the tech that you are like using on a daily basis, or you're planning to launch in Poland. But L'Oréal is also known for like putting the border, like crossing the line where you don't want to feature like AI skin or AI like hair. Are there any other areas when you don't want to use too much tech because you want to stay authentic and natural? Like, how do you position yourself?
We call it responsible tech and responsible innovation. So first, we embrace tech fully, which means that L'Oréal is really embracing technologic innovations without wasting time, trying to seize really as many opportunities as possible. Then, indeed, we do beauty. So beauty is for humans.
Yeah.
It's for real people. And we use tech to enhance all the beauty, but it's for humans. So indeed, our CEO set some red lines, let's say, and one of them is that we don't want actually to have a fake skin, fake hair, fake body, human avatars for our advertising, because we want also to ensure that the human touch is not lost. And since we develop products that have effectiveness and effect on real skin and real hair and real body, we absolutely don't want to defraud that by having artificial skin and hair and people in our advertising. Okay? So that's one. Then you see some social media platforms are developing also kind of human avatars now, even live streaming, and it's not a real person, right?
Yeah, the fake
Although
influencers.
looks very real.
Yeah.
So this type of things also is a clear red line for the
L'Oréal.
group. Voilà. So to be honest, we try to follow good common sense of what we are about. We are a beauty company. We are with people. We work with people and sell products. experience to people. So that's what is guiding us mostly.
And I would say the bottom line is that if your products are not great, people don't buy them again, no matter the tech that is around it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that,
The peace
that would
judge
be
is the consumer. Huh?
exactly right.
Yeah.
If the cream is not good, they are
sure,
not coming
sure.
back, right? So,
Sure.
Yeah.
But what is sure is that, for us, it's very important to sell the best products to the right person at the right time.
Yeah.
And to this extent, the trend for personalization is very important because it helps indeed delivering the best product for the best person, for the right person, and in the experience as well, right? So why I was talking tech at the service also of the business goals, because that's it. Our job is to give opportunity to people to test and use the best product for them.
okay.
Yeah.
So all the tech is helping us achieve this business goal faster, bigger scale, and with even more quality, right?
Okay, so maybe let's move to how do you use AI internally at L'Oréal?
Yes.
Because we talked a lot about customer-facing AI. So, what are your challenges as a leader within implementing AI at L'Oréal? How do you incentivize your employees to learn, to upskill them? How did you prepare the process here in Poland? What is specific about the process?
So first, I must say that I'm quite proud that at L'Oréal Poland, we are one of the countries with the highest interest for AI in our employees and highest completion rates of trainings on AI. Because we have embarked a massive training scheme, training program for all our employees. We have trained already dozens of thousands of employees worldwide, and Poland and Baltic is above 70% of completion of the training. There was huge interest and very speedy completion.
Did you know why? Would you know why there is such interest here locally compared to others?
First,
or would you assess
no,
it?
I think huge.
Because you came in. The new boss is here. Let's all go to AI.
Huge interest for the reasons you mentioned earlier, right? That we have a vibrant ecosystem, that our poles are quite interested in tech, are quite entrepreneurial, agile.
So just natural evolution of.
I would say, and then of course, me as a leader, I have also put strong emphasis on this topic, right?
Makes sense.
For the FOMO, the curiosity, I think the duty of a leader is to really make sure we train people how to use it, right? And they learn from it and to use it better. So that was really the focus. So we have our own internal L'Oréal GPT as well. I would say a closed environment. It's quite classic, but we really entice and foster a culture so that our people use it a lot.
Okay.
And by the way, again, Poland Baltic is one of the highest ratio of usage of the L'Oréal GPT. Voilà. So for me, you said, Marta, what's the challenge of a leader? The challenge of a leader is to train the people and to ensure people try, test, learn how to use it better, etc. And that's what we are trying to do. Then, as a leader, we decide what we want to use, what we don't want to use as well, right? So, but I entice really people to test and learn as many AI solutions as possible with their personal accounts, because we cannot try them all with L'Oréal account. We really organize a lot of seminars, webinars, training around all those solutions, because in the end we want people to get friendly with it and use it better.
To not be scared about it.
No, I think, of course, there are some threats, etc. But the dominant culture that we are trying to foster is to embrace it. Then use it responsibly. We set some red lines, etc. But is more embracing it. Also, AI, as you know, is enabling maybe medium-performing companies to excel better.
course.
So for an excelling company, if you want to stay on top of your game, you have to do even more, right?
But I would even I would challenge this vision, right? Because we often think, like, when we look at for example, if I take a very concrete example, which is the digital creation or the technological development, right? Some studies have been made since AI, came to the market and became basically a foundation tool of productivity, right? Where you take a junior for whatever digital creation, let's say, or development, right? And you plug AI to that junior. And the results that you get can be 80 to 85% of a result of an expert doing it by himself without AI.
Yeah.
However, you're going to plug AI into an expert and the value is very marginal, right? You're going to go a little bit better, but not that much.
Yeah.
So this is why when I'm saying that here, the vision that you have, you guys being so big and being basically on the top of your game, right? And then you plug AI into it, you really have to have it as a fundamental layer of what you do on a day-to-day for it to have an impact.
Sure.
Because
To have
if you
data.
if you just use it on a little bit, right, you're like, it's just exactly, right? You don't have that much of
Yes.
So that's
So voilà. And then me, on a personal note, because I'm indeed quite FOMO and curious country manager on this. But my motto is, if not better, faster. And if not faster, better. Right? I think the companies that will manage both to embrace AI well and fast, while building interesting interactions on the human side, are going to be the winners, right?
Can you tell us a bit about, sorry, I'm jumping on yours on this one.
Go ahead.
On the emotional intelligence that you talked about last year in Impact, right? Like, because it fits very much about what you're saying right now. So if you can tell us a little bit about that philosophy of the emotional intelligence.
That's a bit that, because indeed, last year I read indeed a big article in the Harvard Business Review. They were, I think the title was something like, can AI replace a good leader, or something like that, a great leader, or something like that.
Of course, no.
So I was very interested,
When?
very interested in this article. So basically, what it was showing is that I think it was 70% of the managers have a lot of trust had at least last year, it was from last year, had a lot of trust in AI when it is to positively affecting their work, but also decision making or critical help in making, even strategy definition, and even evaluation of my performance as a manager. If my KPIs are well defined, AI can I trust AI so much that AI can evaluate me on my KPIs.
As a leader.
So me, I decoded it like, better a good AI than a bad boss, right? But when you dig a little bit more in the article, it was saying, especially if the feedback is positive, right? Yeah. If you have to have negative feedback, the human touch is still preferable. Yeah. So that was quite interesting because it was showing a high level of trust, but not at all cost. So in the end, I link it with the human, because at the end of the day, you have AI is indeed invading everything we do. It's changing the way we work, but the human qualities will become even more important, right? So. And today, when you read about what people think about their boss and their manager, etc., so I remember another survey. I think it was a Gartner or 2024 last year, etc. They were saying that only 29% of people think their boss leads with human values and humanity. So I think there is still a lot of work to do anyway in human leadership. And I think also with my personal opinion, but with the development of AI, people will value the human interactions even more, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's fine because I'm a big fan of authentic and sincere leadership, etc. But it's a culture that I think companies need to foster even more if they don't have it in the times of AI times and the tech explosion, right? So voilà, so that's why I shared indeed last year that I think AI will have a consequence to develop EI more even because EI will matter even more.
Yeah. Absolutely. And basically trying to also move on to your other hats, right? We talked about L'Oréal and everything that you have been doing for L'Oréal for the past 26 years. But of course, it seems that, you're not busy enough. And then you decided to go for the presidency of the French Chamber, Polish French Chamber of Commerce. But I think this is very linked to all, high performers, right? You need to always have many things ongoing and, try to touch on many things and impact many things. So could you basically tell us what's your objectives by taking on this role, what you are looking to change? Because you are, let's say, a new guy on the market, and then you decide to jump onto, one of the most known institution that is linking the both markets. So what are you looking to achieve doing that, and what are your objectives? Yeah.
Well, I speak under your control.
Yeah.
This
is why,
And I don't know if I don't know if I'm a new guy or not, but no, I think very exciting, because indeed, France and Poland are long-term partners. It's not new. We know economically, France is in the top 3 of the foreign investors. In Poland, the Chamber of Commerce is a big institution, right? Because it has between 300 and 400 members. Big, medium, small, startup, French companies, Polish companies. So it's a very diverse ecosystem. So of course, all members have different expectations then because they are all different and have different interests, etc. But I think they all have in common to be willing to develop their business, develop new opportunities, develop the networking, access maybe to some expertise that are present in other members of the chamber. So voilà. So I'm very happy to take on this additional role because I think in a dynamic environment like Poland, speed matters. And the duty of an institution like the Chamber of Commerce is also to renovate, get faster, more agile, get more pace even in putting in relation, joining the dots between all the different indeed companies that constitute the membership. I wish we can involve also more the youth. Okay, so with more young leaders also in the chambers, and that we can develop more partnerships as well. Because anyway, in my job or in the Chamber of Commerce, I believe in the strength of partnerships. There's so much you can do on your own, and collective intelligence needs to prevail by also having partnerships, right? So I think there are many types of partnerships. Still doable in different fields, right? Obviously the education, educative, digital, technological, and I wish we can do more of those, right? Because that they are the ones that will be critical indeed to gain more momentum and continue developing French-Polish relationship. I think now very nice moment with the Polish presidency of the European Union. The Chamber, we wish to bring our humble contribution to also this agenda, and I think it's a nice agenda because for Europe is about, of course, sustainable growth, but also competitive growth, right? So how can we combine this also from a Polish-French point of view in Poland? So that's what led me this new challenge here, surrounded with very interesting people, very diverse.
So you're enjoying it? That's what you're saying so far.
Yeah, so far. I don't know if you are, but me, I am.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll maybe follow up on something that is very specific for French Tech Warsaw, which is tech.
Yes.
What are the tech subjects that are important for your members, like the burning subjects that they're willing to have, like, I don't know, workshops or lectures? How do you plan as a chamber position yourselves, like within the tech and innovation industry and subjects, and what type of content and help you want to bring to your members?
So we have a network of members who actually work a lot of tech solutions with local startups or big techs or whatever. So also, how can we join the dots between all these people? How can we also collaborate with of course, with La French Tech? For me, we are a great match. What can we do together? I think I personally try to have the mindset of ambition. Humility and ambition. So we need to be humble with what's going on because there is so much you can know. But the ambition, actually, collectively with partnerships, etc., to try to join the dots better, to propose better solutions to people. And I think our members are looking for that, right? So they are looking to see which tech do the big companies or medium companies have, who do they work with, how can they partner with La French Tech, take more initiative.
And if you allow me here to dig a little bit into this here, when you talk about trying to connect the dots, which with Joanna from actually the very beginning when we started the French Tech Warsaw, we had this discussion that innovation was becoming basically the kind of main trend of how the chamber wanted to evolve throughout time. And now you're talking about connecting the dot between the big groups. And we know from experience that the big groups are not perceived as very startup friendly, very tech friendly in general, no matter where they are, right? They are often actually seen by the startups to be more startup killers than startup helpers, right? Because the lead time, the processing, often startup put all their eggs into that basket because that deal can change the course of their business. So how, first of all, the first question is, how are you able to sit all those big guys? I'm not talking about the small guys, but the big guys that actually can make a difference on the market, the likes like L'Oréal, Orange, BNP, and so on and so on. You sit them together and actually make them more agile, because maybe that's the case for L'Oréal, but I can tell you that that's not the case for everyone. So how do you do that? And within, setting up this process, what is the initiative or the couple of initiatives that you are the most proudest in terms of, or the most excited about, saying, okay, we are connecting the dots, this is the rules that we play with, and this is the thing that we want to achieve. How do you guys do that?
So can I put back my L'Oréal hat for a while?
Please go for it.
So I'll put back my L'Oréal hat.
That's cool.
Okay. So, for example, you said the big groups, etc. Not all of them are maybe open or whatever, or maybe they work with a more centralized.
I mean, they can have. That's the thing, that we know there is a discrepancy between what they want to do and what they actually do, right? Because there is always that discrepancy between how the leadership wants to achieve things, but then how does it trickle down to the different layers of middle management, and that will push things. So
I'll give you a local example of L'Oréal in Poland.
Sure.
Okay. So me, indeed, I'm a big believer in for example, in the intergenerational dialogue. And so I decided to do here something I wanted to do for at least 10 or 15 years and had never done. And I decided to do it in Poland. Okay. So I set up what I call Innovation Squad, which is a group of, I would say, youngsters, intrapreneurs within L'Oréal Poland. So I pitch them, innovation can come from anywhere. Bring your greatest ideas. So I'm in the third edition now, third year. Roughly 50 young employees apply every year. We select 10 to 12. Then we funnel down their 12 ideas into 3 ideas, right? 3 projects that become project. We put budget for the execution of the projects. We coach them all year round with innovation coach. We skill them with our partners, big tech, small tech, whatever. Me, I see them every month. They interact with the senior management of the company, etc. We help them shape their project. We help them pivot. And it's absolutely wonderful, so out of 3 projects every year, I would say 1 is incredible, game changing for our business.
Okay.
Another one is okay. Another one not so good, right?
Okay.
So really, it's possible for a big company here at local level in Poland, whatever headquarters or whatever are saying, to foster a culture of innovation. These people are ambassadors of innovation for the rest of the community. Yeah. We treat them well, so yes. So they also
red
feel
carpet.
It's a fast track, etc. Yeah. Then everybody gets jealous.
Exactly.
And me, I had a lot of all the middle managers saying, "Oh no, what's going on with this?
Can I be an
innovator?" So then, what I did the year after, I created the same program for the senior leaders of L'Oréal Poland. Actually, so the top guys.
FOMO again.
Yeah, exactly.
Working with FOMO again.
Top 60, 70 directors.
Okay.
Not to generate new ideas that are additional burden or etc., but to disrupt one big project that they already have in their division or department, and disrupt it with innovation and bring it to next level. But we do the same. We train them, we skill them, we coach them, etc. So it's called innovation hackers. And it works less well than with the young, but still.
Because maybe they have something to lose. The youngsters don't,
Exactly.
I can just throw it in the air.
But still it works. It contributes to fostering a culture of innovation. And then I have the 3rd level of my innovation product offer, is the innovation board, where I set up a board where I meet 3-4 times a year with 10 to 15 important people in the ecosystem of Poland, between big tech, small tech, educational, etc., media, or and we meet on a bit border, next frontier topics, etc. So it's possible to create innovation culture at local level in any company. And it's back to the mindset. It depends on your mindset, if you have the growth mindset, etc. So, for example, me as L'Oréal here, I'm trying to really foster this culture. And it starts to work. We make a survey for people to evaluate the level of innovation of their boss, of their manager, etc. And it progresses.
Okay.
So,
so how do you basically how are you able to transpose that to the strategy with the other, big companies in the chamber? Then that's,
we don't know yet.
But on the agenda, yes.
But we believe nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
And actually, we want to foster more dialogue, more dialogue, intergenerational as well. We need to listen more to the youth.
Do you see fear in the big groups in terms of the innovation and how fast it's going? Because it's absolutely exponential right now in the past couple of years. It's very exponential, right? So if you basically, week by week, if you're not up to date, you can already have passed, major information. So do you see you guys, you and I are basically dealing with those big groups? Do you see some fear related to the fact that they can stay behind in terms of the innovation or how fast they can go on the market with that?
They are much more.
No, I think the fear is linked to indeed people being overwhelmed and not keeping up with the pace.
Exactly, yeah.
Hence my point that when you're a big group, your headquarters is going very fast with the innovation, etc. Then it's your job locally to speed up the culture as well, so that you don't feel so overwhelmed by what the headquarters are developing or whatever. The fear is linked to that. So it's in our hands. We can control this by actually speeding up the adoption culture, So that's why I insisted on that part, for example, locally.
Okay.
Then at the chamber, we are discussing what we can do, but also it's more partnerships, etc. Again, we have to be both ambitious and humble, and okay, maybe some people are less receptive to the topic, etc. But it doesn't prevent us from trying to develop more network, to make partnerships with La French Tech or because I think it's a bigger cause, and we all have our role to play. And, we know some technologies are cheaper in Poland. Sometimes you have great systems in Poland, and then your headquarters of big companies have a system that is less good and 3 times the price, So there is an ecosystem of tech in Poland that enables also smaller companies to have access to very interesting technologies. So how to contribute to that? Well, we don't have concrete revelations to make at this point.
We want controversy, Otherwise, we want buzz.
But we are open and we are willing to contribute.
Yeah, because the needs of the smaller company tend to be very concrete and practical at the same time. Very different from the big companies that are hunting for startups and the solutions that already exist, and they need to create content with AI, for example. So this is I guess that's going to be 2 different offerings for your members. Or
we need
to that.
Because we have a more difficult job. That's for sure. Because we have a diversity of members, very different expectations, different nature,
different personas.
That's our challenge. Let's say.
Okay.
So
let's meet next year, and we are going to talk more about our product.
Absolutely, we'll absolutely do that. Basically, here it's I would say how would you assess the expat community here in Poland and in Warsaw, because you have been
French expat community.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know French tech, and so I didn't precise. Yeah, the French one, obviously, everything else is out of our scope. You have been in so many different countries, have led so many, different teams, have been confronted to so many cultures, and seen expats from all around the world, and how they have been acting, how they have been integrating locally. How would you compare the Polish one? Please don't be too nice, right? Give us the raw truth.
No, but
and how would you assess it? And frankly speaking, there is also the aspect where Aurélien Deleuzier, who is basically offering us this studio, he's always talking about there is expats and there is immigrants, right? So we are immigrants, right? And that's a different status from expats, right? So this is what I want to I want to put that all together. And how would you assess this in Poland compared to your previous experiences?
So honestly, again, me ambitious. Okay, so first humble, because I don't know them all, right? I don't know. I only know one part. There's many people that I don't know. So first, it's difficult to know it all, right? Because it's a big community and growing, I think. And then so humble in my answer, ambitious then, because actually the vibrancy of the foreign expats, whether they're French or other nationalities or binationals in the countries of the world, is the ability both to keep their identity and build bridge with the local culture and blend with the local culture and be open to the local culture, right? So personally, me, I try to be a bit like that, right? By choice of my life after 26 years of expat, something like that. But honestly, I think it's very difficult for me to answer because I only know the people I know, but I'm eager to know more. And I think what matters is indeed the openness of the French, or not the French, the foreign communities, to indeed open up and be willing to be a good citizen, ambitious citizen of the country they live in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So are we doing the quick fire round,
Yes.
questions right now? So
We have prepared something special to the end, very quick questions.
For both of you. So I would expect you to, have a quick answers, no thinking, just go for it.
Whatever's
whatever comes up, right?
Yeah.
And then we promise we free you. Yeah.
So the first question is, what's the one piece of technology you wished existed today?
I know mine.
Me too.
Never mind. Okay. First,
no, you start. Yes, he's struggling. You go for it.
I like this, old cassettes because I was sure that I will listen all the piece of music as it was thought by the author. And
That's not very innovation, am I?
I know.
It's vintage. Vintage technology. Okay.
Whatever comes to your mind, this is like the valid answer.
For me, I have one very clear one.
Yeah.
I'm not an engineer, and I don't understand why we cannot have wireless electricity. Okay, so today we still need a wire to charge and to put electricity in the device. We still need a battery, etc. And we have disrupted so many things in 50 years.
Yeah.
And we still have to plug. We still have to have huge batteries, even for the car.
Yeah.
So the inability to store energy in different ways, invisible or wireless, for me is what is missing. So,
we have an expert in the team, in our French tech team, which is Emmanuel Likelskiba, right? And he's into that sector of green tech, and he's always telling us that even though the electricity has been invented so long ago, we're still struggling with basic things of it, which is how do you store it, for instance, and you're still like struggling.
Incredible. What we can do today, and we still haven't found a way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what would be yours actually? That's a good question for you.
Well, for me, it's everything related to sleep technology. I'm a health geek, and I really like to optimize, measure all the things. So, and I do believe there is a lot of tracking around sleep, but not much tools that can really influence and improve your sleep.
Enhance it.
Yeah, enhance it. So, and I know it's like crucial for health, and it's crucial for your mind, like for everything. So I'm really surprised that there's like a lot of products that can help you track, but not really optimize. So I think this is like huge market to address. One that comes to my mind.
And it's 1/3 of our life.
Yes.
Right? So,
absolutely. I mean, for the ones that sleep, actually 7 or 8.
Yeah. Depends on the people. 1/4
exactly, something like that. All right, so this one will be for me. So hybrid work versus office. What do you prefer and why?
Office, because I really believe in exchange.
Okay, that's straightforward.
Concentrate at home, but to have this creative.
Yeah, and you guys need to make people do stuff. You're the leader, so you need to actually be
for me, office for sure.
Office for sure.
Creativity, exchanging, recharge energy. I'm an extrovert, so I need people
to
recharge
really?
my energy. But even, it's for me, it's absolutely indispensable.
Cool.
So do you have office policy at L'Oréal? Really?
Yeah, we have a classic hybrid.
Okay.
Max 2 days home office per week.
Okay, max 2 days.
Voilà.
But
me, for example, I go every day.
Yeah,
I do 1 day a year of home office. But it's my choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what's the best career advice you have ever received?
Okay. Alors, I still live off this advice, which was given to me about 10 years ago by a coach. For a leader, what matters is how you surround yourself. This person told me, you no use to clone yourself, right? Yeah. So, but think about how you surround yourself.
Yeah.
So that was the best advice.
There is a saying that a person is a sum of 5 people they meet the most, right? So this is like...
All right. And so the next one would be what book that has influenced you the most, that changed something in the approach that you do things, or, you would recommend?
Well, in past 2 years, I see 2. I see the Lean Startup.
Oh, yeah.
So,
we all went through this one. Yeah.
Okay, so honestly,
wow. Yeah.
Great, small, excellent.
Yeah.
And the second one is even smaller. Is Our Iceberg is Melting by John Cotter. It's the story about the fable about the penguins who need to change their environment to survive. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. And I took a course of fast reading.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this like diagonal type of reading, or
there are
like
several techniques.
Okay.
But indeed, anyway, you need to have something to guide you, whatever you jump.
Yeah.
So now I read more books like that.
Okay.
But these two, Lean Startup and Our Iceberg is Melting, a lot of inspiration for my job, and even can be read by
absolutely.
teenagers.
Yeah. And just sorry, how do you apply Lean Startup to L'Oréal? Because Lean Startup is very specific, it's not just about the name startup, but the way that things are done, the speed that is needed into the Lean Startup. And the way that you take off things and put things and take off, and
Alors first, I told you, L'Oréal is quite fast for a big company, culturally.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah.
Second thing, I think the Lean Startup is done for that, because it's done to teach the innovation spirit mindset to people also working in any type of corporations, right? So I think it's suited for entrepreneurs. And then for me, the main thing I'm taking out for the L'Oréal people in Poland is the think big, for sure, is the pivot quickly. Okay? So stop when it's not working, pivot it, right? And don't. And the third idea is this idea of MVP, or also at least the speed over perfection.
Yeah.
Which in a Polish culture context, is not easy,
it's tough
because
one.
the culture of perfectionism is there.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I would say very applicable.
Okay.
Stretch to teach it to the people, but very applicable.
Super.
This book to any type of company, even big, everywhere. And in Poland, very useful for the pivoting and the speed over perfection, which I see sometimes are a bit of a tendency to be difficult to manage.
Absolutely. Yours, Joanna?
First of habit. For me, it's dealing with habits. It's important for us to change and be able to.
Yeah, and talking about that, Joanna was so impressive, because when we started actually to collaborate a little bit together, and she, we talk, and and she's like, I wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, then take care of my kids, then do this. And I'm like, what the hell? She's a robot, impressive. And I do that every day, and she goes to the party, with everyone, and then goes back, and 5 a.m. she's awake to this. Very impressive. So I'm not surprised that this is your favorite book.
There is like a book 5 a.m. club, and there is like a movement of people who are waking up at 5 a.m. So you really wake up at 5 a.m. every day?
It's insane.
Okay.
Oh my God. What about you? Do you have a book that changed everything?
I really like Infinite Games.
Okay.
Because it really shows you the approach to like dealing with people, dealing with obstacles, like, building your life and like perception of things, and how you want to contribute, and how is your attitude, and that the play is important. And very often we are so caught up in life and in business that we forget just to enjoy it and the play, and have this playfulness that we can build like more together. So this is like important, like high level approach, I would say. And recently I read like 2 interesting books, because we talk a lot about technology, and I was reading a book about scaling people from the CEO of Stripe. Very interesting, very practical.
Do you have the name of the book?
Scaling People.
Scaling People. That's the name. Okay, I forget what's the concept.
And there is another book like The Great CEO Within of Matt Mochary, because no one really teaches you how to be a good CEO.
Yeah.
And this book is like, he's like very well-known coach from startup from the Silicon Valley. And this is very practical, actually. He gives like very practical advice on how to run meetings, how to set up priorities. And it's very thin. The audiobook is only like 5 hours. But it's somehow opened my mind on like many topics. So this is like mind opener. It's a great effect of reading a good book.
So cool. I will still add mine, because we're in the book, so maybe it can benefit someone. But back then, 10 years ago, when I started to work here in Poland, we're working in one of those big companies. A friend of mine gave me Tim Ferriss, the 4 hours week work. Yeah. And that book changed absolutely everything for me, because after reading that book, which I'm not a huge reader, I read business cases and articles and things like this, but not, and this one he was like, Walid, you have to read it. And basically, just, go for it. And then I read that book like very quickly, like in a couple of days. And basically a week after, I basically applied the principle because Tim Ferriss says that there is all the tasks that are not generating an income or profit, they're not added value, you can outsource them. And he gave so many practical things where you can find people to outsource, things, and then basically focus on high value, tasks. And a week after, I put myself part-time in that job, took another job in Warsaw because back then was in Łódź, and half of my job was done by people across the world. Even though I was paying more money, but I was making more money, right? Mm-hmm. And that's basically kickstarted my entrepreneurial journey. Wow. Tim Ferriss, the 4 hours work week, that really changed everything for me. You
became much more effective.
Oh, I became just someone that did not care about anymore doing everything myself. And I understood that I could let someone do something for me 70%. Mm-hmm. And that would be still good enough for me to basically focus that time into doing something at the excellence of what I believed I could do. And that, and generated actually more cash because then you get just more job done, simply, right? So,
Cool. So the last question, very simple one. Your favorite places in Warsaw? Because we are like French Tech Warsaw, so you want to also emphasize a little bit like this.
Start,
yes, but I believe that Vistula River, changing both sides because it's they are pretty different. You can.
That's true.
Okay.
And you can go.
Me same. Vistula River.
But which side? Depend which side, which mood.
Alors me, I live on the other side.
Which what is the other side? Because for the other side, we are the other side. Valéry, so which?
I'm very bad with directions.
It's the
Saska, you are? Saska. So okay, in Saska, right?
But I go both sides of the Vistula. I think indeed for me is the Vistula River, and indeed. For me, the main thing is the metamorphosis of the city.
Amazing.
From 50 Shades of Grey to really the blooming of green and the things out there everywhere. Yeah. Very sudden change.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are praying for it to happen soon. But I think when the city transforms with the spring, then the Vistula River is.
Yeah. And what about you?
Favorite place in Warsaw?
Yeah, man. I mean, we're all living here, so I guess, all tips are good to take, yeah?
Where I really like a coffee spot in my district, Secret Life.
Okay.
This is where I go to chill, just like it's a walkable distance from my place. It's Żoliborz, Old Żoliborz.
Which is a very cool neighborhood too,
And I really like my office.
Which one? In Europejski?
We work Europejski.
Oh, this one is very
incredible.
Yeah, it's very cool, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So hybrid versus office.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think I would recommend also to anyone to basically to link all that is to, grab a coffee, anywhere in spring, late afternoon, put some music in your ears, right? While the sun is, going down, sunset is happening, and walk through the city to go to the riverside, and then you drop your coffee there and get yourself a little drink and sit on that beach and get, get the DJ and the music and the people around. And, it's crazy to say, but Warsaw is definitely, I think, one of the last El Dorado, hidden places of Europe. And we have the chance to see it grow before our own eyes. So really incredible. Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. It was great having you.
Absolutely. And so you will have basically the possibility to see everyone's profiles and all the books in the description. Follow our pages, social media, our website, lafrenchtechwarsaw.com. And we're extremely proud to have you. We were talking about it for a while, and Valéry even, very proud that you made it for us and gave us all that time. And see you next time.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. C'est un plaisir. Thank you.